Oh man. So here we go. Here we go again. I've been telling everybody, and y'all keep saying that this guy is he's the best, and he's this, and that. He still ain't fought nobody. It's the same thing with Broner. I mean, when he was at them lower divisions, Broner dominated. Oh my God, Broner's the next thing. He's the next Floyd. Oh my God. He move up and he fight somebody, and what happened? We don't know what you are until you fight somebody. And Bud signing his contract, he knows all the competition in the welterweight division is on the other side. You're not gonna get no top guys over there. You're gonna have more C-level guys on your record. You're gonna look good against those C-level guys and people who I don't know, like I was saying, I was equating it to basketball. If it was a one-on-one tournament and you beat Kyle Lowry, a starting point guard, if you beat Collison, a starting point guard, and you beat Michael Conley, a starting point guard, no one is gonna call you the best. We're gonna say, okay, you solid. He did what he was supposed to do in that tournament. He could only play who he could play on his side, but we wouldn't call you, oh, you're the best in the world for beating them. Why? Because you still haven't played Kyrie. You still haven't played Russell Westbrook. You might look very impressive against those guys, just like Broner looked very impressive against the C-level guys he was fighting at 140 in the lower weight classes. But when he stepped up the competition, what happened? Came back down to earth. It didn't look so impressive. And it wasn't just a power thing. It wasn't just a weight thing. It was just a different level of competition. And Bud knows you could have made the Earl fight could have just happened. We could have got a unification early next year. His extension was up. All you had to do was do what Mikey was doing. You didn't have to sign with a promoter. You could have held out, got your unification fight, and then if you wanted to go, you could have ran back over there. You don't want to fight Earl. You don't want to fight Sean Porter. Signing this deal, I mean, it just makes no sense when all the competition is on the other side. And not that you had to sign to the other side, but you could have just played how Mikey playing the game, played how Earl playing the game. You know, you could have had an advisor with Aaron or advisor, whoever you wanted, and you would have been open to fight on whatever network that was possible. The best position would have been you going to get that other belt, but he clearly doesn't want that other belt. Like I said, if Earl and Bud really wanted this fight, it could happen, especially with his contract being up at that time. So you didn't have to take that extension right now. You could have took the Earl fight or took the winner of Danny and Sean, and or took both of them fights maybe back to back or had a fight in between and then went back and signed the top rate. But it just makes no sense why these guys who are established, like once you get to an established point, why do you want to sign yourself up to be a slave again? I mean, Mikey is giving you the blueprint. Earl is giving you the blueprint. You can just have an advisor, but you don't have to be tied down to a promoter. I mean, be free to roam, and that's how you can really get it. You want to become a, and Bud's name is not as big as Earl's. You know, he's not as big of a personality. He's not as, you know, in the boxing world, people respect him. We understand that all the boxers respect him, all the people who cover it. But a casual can recognize Earl at this point, and you know, I'm just disappointed. He's not as good a talker, and he's clearly not as good as good of a businessman. I mean, it's a brainless move. I don't know who's advising him. Only thing I could think is he doesn't really want to fight any competition, and that's what happens when you guys give these guys the crown before they've actually went up against other crown level fighters. He probably feels like why should he do that? Why should he take a risk and go on the other side if you're gonna give him all the flowers for beating Indongo, best name on this, he beat Indongo for having tough fights with guys like small guys like Gamboa who's getting smashed now for beating Ricky Burns. Somebody said he fought Ricky Burns. Are you serious? I mean, these is the guys that y'all hyping up. Like this is the big. Oh, he unified. You know, a bunch of guys could have unified a division. Most guys don't stay because there's no money in those fights. But his name isn't even big enough to garner the big bread at the time. So he had, you know, it just made sense for him to stay there and do that. But so many guys could have done it. Floyd could have unified. a bunch of fighters can unify, but it just makes more sense business wise for them to either move up or fight the bigger name. So most of the time, a lot of these other champions, especially at the lower weight classes, are just paper champions. They're nobody. They're C-level guys. So you can move up and get a bigger fighter, or just fight a guy who has marketed himself in a better way and get the bigger money. Because at the end of the day, you're risking a lot your life for the money for your family to provide. So that's what you're gonna do. But this is a clear duck by Bud Crawford. He doesn't want Porter. He doesn't want Thurman. He doesn't want Spence. He doesn't even want the Monts and all the guys that's right up under them. He wants to sit over there, fight the Benavidez's of the world, fight the Jeff Horns of the world, fight the Ndongos of the world, and all of you guys are gonna overhype. Oh my God, did you see what he did? I'm done with Bud after this. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Bud Crawford is scared of the top competition. I don't want to hear it no more pound for pound. Like I've been saying, he's not pound for pound. Is he talented? There's some talent there. Is he skilled? There's some skill there. But we don't know what he is until he fights those other top guys. And guess what? It's going to be a long time before we get to see him fight those other top guys. And it's not because he was stuck in the contract. It's because he just made a choice to sign the extension and stick himself in the contract and hide on that other side of the block. Trap media. We the only one at this point on this topic who's giving you what it is. He don't want to fight Earl. He don't want to fight Keith. He don't want to fight Danny. Stop putting them in a conversation with those top guys in that position in that division because we don't know. They all are getting ready to fight each other and are fighting each other. Sean Porter, Danny fighting this weekend. Salute to both of those guys. Salute to both of those guys for fighting Thurman. Earl about to run it and lining up one of them next. Let's get ready. Let's celebrate those guys because this guy don't want it. We need to stop pushing him. He don't want it. I'm up.